What's up, YouTube? It's Nation JJ. Shout out to my 51 subscribers. I look forward to continuing to grow. Today, we're going to be talking about Imane Khelif, and that is the Algerian Olympian boxer that defeated Angela Carini in less than a minute. Imane was born a biological woman. She is not the only woman that has been accused of being transgender. So for all the people that pretend that they want to protect women's sports, it's never been about cis women's sports. It's always been about hating the transgender community. Guys, we're not even talking about transgender people today at all. There are no transgender people involved in this story that we're going to be talking about. The lie is that there are transgender people in the Olympics. And in the Olympics today, there are only two non-binary people that are competing within their biological sex. So let's check out what's going on. Okay, so NPR reports what to know about the gender controversy sweeping Olympic boxing. Women's boxing is at the center of the latest Olympics controversy as critics take issue with the participation of two athletes, Imane Khelif of Algeria and Lin Wung-Ting of Taiwan, who have failed gender eligibility tests in the past. Both Khelif and Lin identify and have long competed as women, but were disqualified from the 2023 Women's World Championships by the International Boxing Association, IBA, for what it called failure to meet eligibility rules. Olympic organizers are defending their right to compete in Paris and questioning the validity of those unspecified tests and the fairness of their previous disqualification, which they said happened without due process. The current aggression against these two athletes is based entirely on this arbitrary decision, which was taken without any proper procedure, especially considering that these athletes had been competing in top-level competition for many years, the International Olympic Committee said in a statement Thursday. The conservative outcry started after Khelif won her match against Angela Carini of Italy on Thursday in somewhat dramatic fashion. And that is true. Carini quit after 46 seconds into the bout after Khelif's punches dislodged her chin strap and bloodied her shorts. After deciding to withdraw, she fell to her knees, sobbing in the ring, and refused to shake hands with Khelif. I have never been hit so hard in my life, Carini tearfully told reporters afterwards. And though Carini never said outright that Khelif is trans, which she is not, she did say, if an athlete is this way, and in that sense it's not right, or it is right, it's not up to me to decide. Carini later apologized and said that she wished she could embrace Khelif for the way that she's currently being treated now because of what Carini said. Then we have Lin, which wasn't as reported, but I've got other women that are being accused of being trans, guys, that we're not seeing as much about in the news, but it's in conservative spaces. And you could Google these people and reports of them being trans or questioning if they're trans will pop up. There will be articles that pop up. So who is Lin? Lin, 28, a two-time world champion, has been competing for over a decade. According to her Olympic bio, Lin joined an athletics team as a child to achieve good results in athletics and win awards to help out financially. So now let's go in depth a bit more as to why they were disqualified last year. The IBA said in a statement at the time that Khelif and Lin had failed to meet eligibility rules following a test conducted by an independent laboratory. IBA President Umar Krevlev told Russian state media that it was proven they had XY chromosomes, which is seen in men as opposed to the XX genotype of women. It is medically possible for women to have male chromosomes in rare cases. I didn't know that. Separately, there are a number of health conditions, most notably polycystic ovary syndrome, that can cause women to produce excess male hormones. I didn't know that. When I heard Logan Paul, Donald Trump talking about, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, conservatives talking about these athletes being men and, oh, it's so terrible, and Trump, I will keep men out of women's sports, I knew that they were making something out of absolutely nothing. So what I did was look up, can women have XY chromosome? And I look at the source, in this case, medlineplus.gov. It says here, National Library of Science, an official website of the United States government. You can go ahead and tell me, oh, you trust the government? In the end, you're either voting Harris, you're either voting Trump, you're either working at a place and getting a paycheck. We all put our trust, a certain amount of trust somewhere, okay? These athletes that are biological women, you're claiming that they're trans. you're putting your trust in something. Whatever that is, I don't know. So yeah, for right now, I'm going to put my trust in the National Library of Medicine because I'm definitely not going to trust you at the moment, okay? I am not looking for why they tested positive for XY. I am looking to see if it is possible for a biological woman, someone we subscribe female gender roles to, male gender roles to at birth. If it's possible, they can have the other chromosomes. And yes, it's possible. Okay? It's possible. And I don't sit back and I'm like, oh my God, what? Just like, oh, okay, it's possible. Wow. Super interesting. So in this case, I believe it's pronounced Swyer
syndrome.
Schleier syndrome. So the syndrome is a condition that affects sex development. Sex development usually follows a particular path based on an individual's chromosomes. However, in Swyer syndrome, sex development is not typical for the affected individual's chromosomal pattern. Novo Nordisk Fonden.dk. More women than expected are genetically men. Sex chromosomes usually determine whether you are female or male. Women are XX, men are XY. However, genetically, a few women are actually men. They grow up as women with a woman's body, and most only discover well into puberty that they are different. Danish researchers mapped for the first time how many women are genetically men. The proportion was higher than expected. This was written October 25th, 2016, published by Morten Busch. And I went ahead and I looked him up. Senior scientific editor, Novo Nordisk Foundation. Dr. Morten Busch is the senior scientific editor at the Novo Nordisk Foundation. He obtained his MSc in biochemistry in 1996 and PhD degree in protein chemistry, both from University of Copenhagen. From 2006 to 2014, he was part of the leadership of the National Science Center. Okay, we get it, right? I'm just trying to find the most reliable information. I am not going to take Logan Paul's word. I am not going to take Donald Trump's word or Marjorie Taylor Greene's word or any conservative for that matter. What to do about this? Women are not what you think they're supposed to be. And of course, these things are spilling over to other female athletes. In this case, for Olympian Ilona Maher, it's mostly about her weight. It's mostly about how she looks like a man. And I have seen some people accuse her of being trans, but not at the level of Imane. But it was something that I wanted to mention anyway. If they're not trans, they're too big. I just wanted to mention that because if you're not criticizing women for being trans when they're not, you're going to find something else to criticize them for. Guys, the day after Katie Ledecky tied Michael Phelps' record for the most individual swimming titles, Google search listings promote a claim that she is transgender next to an article of her win. A separate search prompts several initial results falsely claiming the Olympian is trans. What is the end goal other than more division, more hate for no reason? What is wrong with people? We can do better than this. And then you put in Logan Paul, Donald Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, people with power, people with influence, and you know that they have their army behind them. And for what? Why couldn't you wait? Get the facts straight. Their goal is to keep you further away from reason, from logic, from what is more likely to be true, so that when you do need the help from those things, you're way too far gone. It's only conservatives making this thing up. And that's just to keep you farther and farther away from people you love, from things that actually matter. You think people want to be around you when you're just like, hey man, what about that trans boxer? And you're at a cookout or something and they're like, it turns out that she's biological. No, man, she's not. She's trans. And people are just like, oh, what a weirdo. Like, they don't even want to be near you. Okay, I get it, right? You don't want to be near them. Okay. So who are you going to be near? Trump? Logan Paul? That's who you want to be near? Good luck finding them. They don't know who you are. It's just really strange and unfortunate. I wanted to report on this because it was just something that had me flabbergasted. With that said, I hope that you are all having a great day, that you all have a wonderful week, and that you have the opportunity to be with your families, have a cookout, go for a run, read your favorite book. Season 22 of Apex Legends is tomorrow, so I'm super excited. Oh my goodness. You guys can catch me on twitch.tv/NationJJ if you want to hang out with me whenever I'm playing video games. And I appreciate you. Take care. Thanks to my 51 subscribers. See you tomorrow.